to start with, I prefer a toe hand. Dropping and pressure on the bar and head position are keys here. If you take pressure off the bar and you don't push the shoulders and chest back, you pike instead, your chest stays forward, and you basically fall to the bar and go very slow. So we want to work on the drop. That would be a very slow drop. That's more of a handstand. Now, if you watch, she's on a mat, so she doesn't bash her toes. I want my eyes over my hands or back. That would be a much more powerful drop. That's the drop I want to teach the kids, so I can teach it by reversing their handstands. They have to understand support. Remember the little one we showed at 5 didn't get good support? Simple drills they can do on the side is just to hop their hands to the top of the bar. You'll notice she's got her thumbs over the bar. I do recommend when they come to the top of the bar that they shift their thumbs over if they're not already there, so they can grip the bar and control the handstand. The body should be so tight that the control is from the wrist. And also, if they don't have support, they just fall down and circle the bar. So this is the shape we talked about. She jumped up. She's looking forward. Her shoulders are slightly behind the bar. And she drops and opens. She controls her head position, and she gets a bit of a mirror position here. So the position she's at in the back, when her shoulders are at the same height, is the position she wants to hit in the front. With the head neutral, the chest in, and the bottom tight. We don't want to whip the head on this. And she's doing multiples now. So she has to come back and re-push on the bar. We must teach them to push the shoulders back to make the circle happen, not to pull the legs forward. If you're stiff and the shoulders move back, the legs will move up. If you pike and your legs move forward, your chest will drop over the bar to counter the legs. And basically, I just want to work that until she's got the power and the wherewithal to push back hard enough from a low surface to go over the top. So I'm taking the drop away from her, and I'm really making her work an extra hard push backwards with this particular drill. As they get better, I really want to see the mirror shape. And so she's advanced. This is about a year later. And she can just pump that clear hip, and I would do that with any circle. A toe hand, a stalder. So we're working the compression, bending the bar at the bottom until it just brings them up. If you spin fast, your body wants to pull away from the bar. If you spin slow, you're going to have to bend your arms to get on top of the bar, and your body wants to collapse. I like a building method, so I go push-up 45 handstand, and I use the drop to make it happen. So as she pushes back here, I love this position. I like the roundness in the chest and the open hip. If the hip is slightly open, it'll tend to snap under the bar. If the hip is closed in a pike, it'll tend to open up and arch. And that's a general rule. I like where she's looking here as well. So she's going to drop and go to a push-up or 45. She's going to push back a little bit more, spin harder, and that will open her up higher. And then she's going to push back more. She's using gravity more. The drop is stronger. And the last ones go to a handstand. I want the athletes to have this feel and the control on the circle. It's very important when we're doing advanced circles. Teach them grip shift when they're little. Over grip, mixed grip. This is a real little guy having fun with it. And then under grip. This is super important later on. She thinks that's pretty fun. So if you watch Kate here, she's just doing what we call monkey circles. She's going backwards. Now she's going forward, reverse grip, and she's even going to flip her hands to invert, which is a good idea. We pursued that with her a little bit when she was younger, and as she grew, she got a bit tighter. I introduced a second circle early, and I'm going to go ahead and hit this quick. This is just some floor work. All of our bar basics should be on the floor, and this is for a toe hand or a stalder. I can start the drops when they're really little. It's the same drop. I have them do a little flare with the hips. On the floor, you almost need to. On the bar, need to less unless it's a very quick athlete. And pushing back, getting good extension, or head is down or ears are covered. This is my favorite drill. You can do this with little guys. My little guys weren't in the gym when I filmed this. It's the right leg up, and she's going to pull and flatten and put a lot of pressure on the bar, and she's just going to put her second foot under the bar. And this is about where I want them to learn to put the foot. And then the other leg. And once they have that, they can do both legs. And then this is actually, a toe hand's actually a new circle for this gal. Do this when they're little. I just did a camp a couple weeks ago, and most of the kids couldn't do this because they didn't have the hamstring flexibility. So if you go one leg at a time before you go two, get the arms straight, get the knees straight, get the extension, you'll get a good circle. If you don't develop the flexibility, you won't get a good circle. And then she's going to try and jump with both. And this is my favorite. When they can go all the way around the bar with their legs straight, they're ready to start working off. And you notice she just flexes her feet to come off, which is the way we want to come off. We want to transfer. So here's one of the little gals doing it. Around, really strong. Right there, if she put more weight on her hands and flexed her feet, she could come off. So this is a drill we work a lot. Putting the hands by the feet, flexing the feet, pushing, and just transferring all the weight to the hands. We don't want to jump. We want to push to get this thing to come off the rail. And we'll look at some more advanced circles later. I just wanted to show you how it works. This is a more modified version of that. Little guys can do this as well. All right. So now we're going to start working on our giants. We want maybe get some giants, or at least a good push-up giant before we go to level 6. So the first thing we want to work on is a tap. This is my favorite tap drill for little guys. This is region 1, it looks like. So she's going to press, keep her head neutral, cover her ears, jump off the block, and there's a handle on that block, and she's trying to kick backwards at the block to get the chest and the hip to open, so she gets a natural whip, and her legs rise on the other side. This is a desirable tap at a very small level. And then we want to be working the scoop, great little drill, where she scoops over, keeps the ears covered to a push-up. And it's basically making the tap so strong, freezing this position, that you go over the top of the rail with straight arms and the kids get comfortable. Don't rush this. You've got to get short to go up, right? Gravity pulls on length. So if I'm long in the downswing,